Morning to all. Today we are going to discuss adrenergic drugs. So the objective of today's session is introduction about autonomic nervous system and division of adrenergic drugs, how they are used on adrenergic drugs and adrenergic receptors and its types and adrenergic receptor location and their physiological functions. And we are going to discuss in detail about sympathomimetic drugs and their uses, adrenaline such as norepinephrine, isoprenaline, and dopamine. So if you see the general classification, central nervous system is mainly of central and peripherally, and peripheral nervous system is again divided into somatic and autonomic nervous system. The autonomic nervous system is further divided into parasympathetic as well as sympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is also called as a cholinergic nervous system, whereas sympathetic nervous system is called as an adrenergic system. The neurotransmitter in case of sympathetic nervous system is predominantly non-adrenaline, whereas in case of parasympathetic nervous system, the neurotransmitter both pre and post ganglionic the neurotransmitter is ACH. So if you see the sympathetic nervous system, a dormant system, which is involved in the fight and flight. So these are the actions as mediated by sympathetic nervous system that include BP, increase in the blood flow to the brain, heart, skeletal muscle, and causing the muscle, increasing the muscle glycogen for energy and pupil dilatation. These are the some of the actions mediated by the sympathetic nervous system, whereas the dominant action in case of parasympathetic is mostly seen in the rest and in the GIT in the digestion. So now coming to the receptors, adrenergic receptors can be of mainly of two types: alpha receptors and beta receptors. Alpha receptors are further divided into alpha 1 and alpha 2, and beta receptors are divided into beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3 receptors. So if you see their physiological actions, if you see the first alpha 1 receptor, these alpha 1 receptors are mainly located present in the blood vessels. They mediate vasoconstriction, they increases the peripheral resistance, and they decreases the blood pressure. Whereas alpha 1 receptors present in the eye that involved in the mydriasis, and alpha receptors that are present in the bladder, they increase the closure of internal sphincter of the bladder. Alpha 2 receptors, which are present in the which mediated the inhibition of norepinephrine release and inhibition of acetylcholine release. And alpha 2 receptors, which are present in the pancreatic beta cells, they inhibit the insulin release. Coming into the beta 1 action, beta 1 receptors are mainly present in the heart, and they are also present in the kidney. Beta 1 receptors that present in the heart increases the both gonadotrophic and inotropic action, and beta 2 receptors which increases the AV node conductivity and velocity, and beta 1 receptors which are present in the they causes the release of renin, which increases the blood pressure. Whereas beta 2 receptors, which are present in the bladder, which are in the relaxation, beta 2 receptors which are present in the eye ciliary muscle, which causes the relaxation, and beta 2 receptors which are present in the GIT tract, which causes the decrease in the motility. Beta 2 receptors which are present in the liver, they increases the glucose metabolism and lipolysis. The beta 2 receptors which are present in the smooth muscle, which causes the relaxation. The beta 2 receptors which are present in the bronchial smooth muscle, they mainly involve bronchodilation. The beta 2 receptors which are present in the uterine muscles, they causes the uterine relaxation. They are the other name for uterine relaxations are procholytic agents. Here we are going to see about the cholinergic adrenergic drugs, mainly the catecholamines. So the catecholamines, which that include adrenaline, noradrenaline, dopamine, and isoprenaline. These catecholamines, they mediate their action through alpha and beta receptors. So alpha receptors are which are mainly mediated by inositol triphosphate, and whereas sympathetic uh, receptors, whereas beta receptors, which mediated by which mediated through cyclic AMP levels. So if you see the synthesis of biosynthesis of these receptors, mainly the receptor phenylalanine. Phenylalanine is amino acid which in presence of the liver enzyme phenylalanine hydroxylase, it is converted into a tyrosine. This tyrosine when enters into the cytoplasm in presence of tyrosine hydroxylase, it is converted into a dopa, which is presence of dopa decarboxylase. There, there there is a formulation of dopamine. In presence of dopamine beta hydroxylase, this is converted to non-epinephrine. Is further developed, which further convert, which further presence of ethylamine and methyl transferase, it is converted to adrenaline. These adrenaline, which are stored in the vesicles, and these are released. Coming into the action types, action energetic drugs, they can directly act as a sympathomimetic drugs that act as indirectly sympathomimetic drugs such as tyramine, amphetamine, drugs that is having a mixed action such as sympathomimetics such as ephedrine, dopamine, and ephedrine based upon their clinical classification. Based upon the clinical classification, these drugs are further classified into processor agents, cardiac stimulant, bronchodilators, and nasal decongestants. Processor agents, which increases the BP, mainly these drugs are in ICU, and cardiac stimulant drugs are such as adrenaline, dopamine, and isoprenaline, which acts as a cardiac stimulant, and bronchodilators such as adrenaline, salbutamol, terbutalin, isoprenaline, salmeterol, and formoterol, which causes bronchodilation by increasing the cyclic AMP levels, whereas nasal decongestant such as oxymetazoline, xylometazoline, and phenylephrine, which relieve the nasal congestion. Then CNS stimulants such as amphetamine, methamphetamine, and dextrometamine, which act as an CNS stimulant, and coming to the anorectus, fenfluramine, desfluramine, which act as an anorectus, whereas interim relaxants such as salbutamol, isoxybutyrin, and terbutalin, which act as an interim relaxant and also vasodilatators. Coming to the adrenoreceptors, these receptors are mainly alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1, beta 2, and beta 3 receptors, where alpha 1 receptors are mainly G protein coupled receptor, gymnate G2, and the secondary messenger is inositol triphosphate and diacyl glycerol. Their function is increase in the secretions and also contraction of the smooth muscle, whereas alpha 2 they are mediating through GI. They decreases the cyclic AMP levels and decreases the release of non-epinephrine release and decrease the insulin release. Whereas beta 1 receptors, they are G stimulation, stimulatory effect. They increases the cyclic AMP levels. They thereby increasing the heart rate and force of contractility, and also it causes the release of renin release. Whereas beta 2 receptors, which are G stimulatory effect, they increases the size, they mediated through increase the cyclic AMP levels. Their function mediated by increase in the non-adrenal release and causing the relaxation of smooth muscle and force of contraction. Whereas beta 3 receptors, which are the stimulatory action, which increases the cyclic AMP levels and thereby increasing the lipolysis. Coming to the dopamine receptors are mainly of D1 and D2. They are mainly located in the brain. They mediated D1 mediated vasodilatation by increasing the cyclic AMP levels, whereas D2, which are G inhibitory in nature, they decreases the cyclic AMP levels and increases the potassium conduction. They are thereby decreasing the release of non-adrenaline norepinephrine release and modulate dopamine release. Coming to the catecholamine action, if you see the adrenaline, which act as both alpha as well as beta receptors, then they had a weak action towards beta 3 receptors, whereas non-adrenaline, which act as both alpha and alpha 2, but it does not beta to mediated action. So non-adrenaline or norepinephrine, they does not have any bronchodilatator action, whereas isoprenaline, they does not have, they mediate only beta 1 and beta 2 receptor. They don't deviate, they don't mediate action of alpha actions. If you see the receptor specificity, we see epinephrine, which acts as both alpha and beta, but it does not mediate dopaminergic action. Similarly, ephedrine, which mediate alpha and beta, but they do not mediate dopaminergic action, whereas non-epinephrine, they act both alpha 2, beta 1, and they does not mediate beta 2 and dopaminergic action, whereas phenylephrine, which mediate through alpha 1 action, and they do not mediate alpha 2, beta 1, and dopaminergic action, whereas isoproterenol, which are mediated through beta 1 and beta 2 action, whereas dopaminic receptor, which mediated through alpha 1, and they do not mediate dopamine beta 1, beta 2, and dopaminergic action, and dopamine, which mediated through beta 1 receptor, and terbutaline, which mediated through alpha beta 2 mediated action. We see the directly acting sympathomimetic drug adrenaline. You can remember the adrenaline action by mediating. It has equal affinity for both alpha 1 as well as alpha, both affinity towards both alpha receptor and beta receptor, and it has having equal affinity for alpha 1 and alpha 2 and beta 1 and beta 2 receptor. When adrenaline given at a higher dose, alpha effects are stronger effect. When it given at a lower dose, beta effects are predominant than the alpha receptors, alpha mediated action. So adrenaline, which obeys Dale's vasomotor reverse phenomena. The coming to the cardiovascular effect, being a potent vasoconstrictor and cardiac stimulant effect, it on heart, it increases the heart rate and force of contraction, and it is more susceptible to arrhythmias, more susceptible particularly ventricular arrhythmias. So if you see the preparations, adrenaline that can be given both orally. Adrenaline cannot be used, cannot be absorbed orally. It can be given both subcutaneously as well as intramuscularly, and IV and inhalation, and also in inhalation. And adrenaline can also be used as an eye drops, also can also be used as an eye drop. Coming to the uses, you can remember this uses of adrenaline with a mnemonic. You can remember A, B, C, D, E, and S. A is for anaphylactic shock, where we use adrenaline 1:1000 dilutions, where 0.5 to 1 ml of 1 ml is given. Urticaria, it includes urticaria and angioedema and serum sickness, where B is the bronchial asthma, where C is the sudden cardiac arrest, whereas D is to prolong the duration of action of a local anesthetic, and E is for to arrest the bleeding epigastritis bleeding, and 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 S is for surgical to decreases the vascularity in surgeries. And coming to the adverse reaction, adrenaline increases the BP. This increased BP can lead to septal hemorrhage, since adrenaline can act on both alpha and beta. There is a high rise in the BP that can cause the cerebral hemorrhage. Adrenaline, when it is given in IV form, IV, it can develop cardiac arrhythmias because of decrease in the ventricular systolic contraction, so that can develop ventricular arrhythmias. And adrenaline is contraindicated in a patient of hyperthyroidism and patient of angina and hypertension. Coming to the dopamine, important neurotransmitter in CNS. Dopamine, which mediated both alpha and beta action. Dopamine receptors, which are present in the renal, which increases the glomerular filtration rate. In large doses, dopamine, which causes vasoconstriction. Uses are dopamine can cause uses. It has been used in cardiogenic shock. Dopamine is the drug of choice in the shock, septic shock, and severe congestive heart failure. In dobutamine, which is in a derivative of dopamine, which act on both alpha 1 and beta 1 receptor, which increases the cardiac output. No significant effect in heart rate. It mainly action are mediated through beta 1 agonist. So uses are, it is used as an inotropic agent in cardiac pump failure, in the MI and cardiac surgeries, and also used in a heart failure. Adverse reactions are there will be a sharp fall in BP. This could be due to the release of histamine, and being a potent inotropic agent, it can aggravate angina. Uh, and adrenaline is sorry, dobutamine is dobutamine should be in cautions in using in the particular atrial fibrillations. Dopamine, which activates both D1, D2, beta 1, and beta 1 receptor, which increases the cardiac output, stroke volume, and it also decreases the systemic vascular resistance. Uses are in severe congestive heart failure, sepsis, and shock. And coming to the uses, important is bronchial asthma, since it mediate beta to receptor. It can also be used in the treatment of bronchial asthma, and it also use an allergic disorder. In eye, it uses mediatic action. In central, it can cause, it can use Parkinson, treatment of Parkinsonism, obesity, narcolepsy, and epilepsy, and epilepsy and Parkinsonism, and hyperkinetic children and kinetic disorder in children, and obesity in and also in nocturnal aneurysm in children, and also it also been used in the treatment of brain relaxants. So, so this is the overall general mechanism action and uses of catecholamines. So in conclusion, adrenergic drugs mainly mediated through alpha and beta receptors. So alpha receptors that alpha 1 receptor mediated vasoconstriction, whereas beta 1 receptors which mediated through which mediated increase in the uh, blood pressure, whereas beta 1 receptors present in the kidney that releases the renin that also increases the blood pressure, where beta 2 receptors which are present in the bronchial smooth muscle which causes the bronchodilation. Coming to the catecholamines, they mediate their action through alpha and beta receptors, whereas alpha receptors are mediated through inositol triphosphate, whereas beta 2 receptors are mediated through cyclic AMP levels. Coming to the adrenaline uses, adrenaline is which act as equally both alpha as well as beta receptors, and it also act equally both alpha 1, alpha 2, beta 1 and beta 2 receptors. It does not have action on beta 3 receptors. Adrenaline, coming to the pharmacokinetic properties, adrenaline cannot be used orally, it can be used subcutaneously as well as IV. Adrenaline can also be used as a inhalation. It also been used. It is also been used in eye drops. Coming to the uses, adrenaline is used as a main use as anesthetic shock, and it is also used in bronchial asthma. It is also used in cardiogenic shock, and it is also been used to prolong the duration of local anesthetic. Being a potent vasoconstrictor, adrenaline will constrict the blood vessel, so thereby it will restrict the entry of local anesthetic, particularly lymph and systemic circulation, thereby increasing the prolonged action of local anesthetic. Whereas uh, whereas E control the bleeding from particularly from the nose, and coming into the yes, it is can be used in the surgeries to surgical surgeries before pre-operatively surgeries to construct the blood vessels. Then coming into the dopamine, which is the drug we use in the treatment of cardiogenic, particularly in the cardiogenic shock, and dopamine, it is used in the congestive heart failure and heart failure condition. The dopexamine, which is also been used in the severe shock and severe congestive heart failure conditions. With this, I conclude today's my session. Thank you.